Who made up all these rules and standards of success? Who said for one to be successful, they have to have a fancy job title, to have qualifications, to have a big car, to live in a mansion? Who said this is what success sums up to? Who said having all of those things constitutes to being successful? Because that means it's that person's definition. And I believe that success should be subjective. And I'd like to know, what is success to you? What do you want? And do the things that you have that you consider as a success, is it what you've always wanted for yourself, or is it something that your parents or society or social media told you to want? This is me as a 35-year-old who started over because I had it all, but I was still feeling empty inside. I didn't have peace, and most of the times I just felt like crying a lot, and nothing made sense to me at the time. And I remember my mom would be like, but you have so much going on for you. You have accolades, you have a car, you have a job, you have your own place. What more do you want? She sort of like associated with being ungrateful, but it was more than that. I didn't have peace that surpasses all human understanding. I had all of those things, but it wasn't what I wanted. It was what other people wanted me to have. It was what I was conditioned to believe, that this is success. And I just reached a point where my body was giving up on me. Like, I started feeling sick, and I started questioning who I am, not who I am told or who I was told to be, but who am I, and what do I want? Not what was I told to want according to societal norms, and I started over at the age of 34. I left a job in the government as an IT specialist. I moved back home, and I'm not paying rent anymore. And I sold my car so that I could pay off my debt. I had all of those things, but I was still not free. I wanted freedom for myself, and I wanted to define that freedom for myself, because freedom means many things to many people. I wanted time freedom. I wanted financial freedom. And funny enough, while I still had a salary, while I was still working, I didn't have that freedom. But now that I'm unemployed according to the system, now that I'm not working, because doing inner work apparently is not enough to be considered as work. And now that I'm not doing external work anymore, I have the freedom which I did not have while I was still employed. And I had to let go of this person's definition of success. And I don't even know who this person is that gave us this definition of success. And I'm sure that person is not even alive anymore. But here we are continuing with his definition of success, which is heavy on some of us, which is mentally challenging for some of us, because that definition of success is some of the reasons why many people end up in medical centers for mental illnesses. So I started over. I moved back home in my parents' back room, and there are people that might consider that as a downgrade, and I'm fine. That's their definition, and I don't care, fuck other people's definition. I'm creating my own definition, because at the end of the day, this is my life. And if I'm living it according to other people's standards and hopes and definitions, then I'm living for them. I'm not living for me. I sold my car and paid off my debts. Now I'm financially free because I don't have anything that is bonding me to the system. Yes, I might not meet the societal standard of success, but I meet my own definition of success. And to me, that is the biggest achievement. That is the biggest accomplishment. And I moved into the bedroom because I turned the bedroom that was mine in the house into a gym. And it's one of the things that I'm also proud of, because I do not have to pay for a gym membership. And the weird thing is, the system was not made to benefit us in any way, in any shape or form, because after I paid off for my car, my credit score dropped drastically. So it's like you always have to be in debt to maintain a good credit score. And I was like, no, this is not for me. I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm not going to be in debt just to prove a point that I am financially disciplined to a system that was not even designed to benefit me in any shape or form. I'm going to show you, this is my room, and I'm happy with it. I'm doing things that make me happy, things that benefit me, things that might make people question my sanity. I sold my car and now I'm riding a bike, and I'm happy with that, because riding a bike is also beneficial for my health and well-being on my own terms, and for me, this is what freedom is to this current version of me. And I do a lot of walking, because most of the time we use a car even to go to a destination whereby we can just walk to. We've just been conditioned. It's either people are lazy, or they have this fear of yo, what are people gonna think of me if they see me walking? We're always trying to manage other people's perception of us, other people's perceptions of our situations, always trying to control everything. And that as well, control is one of the things that I also had to let go of. I had to be okay with other people's perceptions of my situation. I just got to a point whereby I was not bothered, because I became the main character. I became the priority in my life. And before I do something, I ask myself, is this what I really want, or do I want other people to see that I have this thing? I had to be okay with not fitting into the box that society has given us, because at the end of the day, life is not a one size fits all. What works for you might not work for somebody else. I just thought I should trade. Maybe somebody out there can relate to this. It's okay, like, to start over at the age of 35. It's okay to not have it figured out. It's okay to not have certain things in life, like a car, a house, a qualification, because society has created this imaginary timeline, and you do not have to live your life according to that timeline. It's okay if you're at a certain age and you do not have a certain things. You do not have to comply to societal standards. Feed your soul first. Be happy with yourself first. Just make sure, like, the things that you want are the things that you want for you, not what your parents or the society want for you or conditioned you to want.